The role of self-care in holistic health. Listen to this. I give the world the best of me instead of what's left of me. Have you heard such statements before? Not to worry, we shall answer the question together. Welcome, my lovely and amazing listeners, to another of the Hope Ignites Healing podcast with your host, Dr. Lillian Kalisa. This is a space we speak everything holistic health and healing. And we are in the season this year where we're talking clean out. We are cleaning out our minds, our bodies, and our spaces for holistic health, and especially for finding healing. So this week, we are talking the role of self-care in holistic health. And I have the courage to mention statements like, I give the world the best of me instead of what's left of me. Now, once upon a time, I heard this statement. Someone said these words and they seemed one of the strangest statements I thought someone could make. What did this mean? And what does it mean now? As usual, I will start at story time. This time, I have a story of a lovely lady called Hayley Odlozil. Her story, by the way, really reminds me of my father. Is it because she was such a beautiful heart? Or is it that it all ended in death? Hang on, it was a victorious one. Please do not close the podcast because of the mood that this might set. I will make it as victorious as you can imagine. That's why I'm here to share it with you. Well, I want you to first of all look it up. It's been making quite a few rounds on the internet. Anyhow, this lovely lady on July 14th, 2023, that's just a few weeks ago from today, she passed away from ovarian cancer that she had battled for 8 years, having been told at her initial diagnosis in 2015 that she had 6 months to live. Oh, that story. You need to watch it. It's one of pain, but of victory for the lives she touches, even mine. Now, how on earth would a simple being like me here in Uganda find her if it wasn't for this global village that has been set by the internet? Anyhow, back to the story. I happened to watch the funeral of this lovely lady, her husband's speech, among many others, of course. Now, I would never go to the internet to watch a funeral, especially because of my own past, which has trauma involved regarding funerals. If it wasn't for her story that I had been following for a while, which I actually found on the internet, of course, like I told you, leading me to read again about ovarian cancer and cancers generally, what holistic health has to do with avoiding these cruel things in our lives. But more for me, it was revisiting my big why question all over again. And I'll share with you why it led me to that. So back to the husband's speech, the amazing gentleman, God bless his soul. He said, don't take your health for granted. I had no idea how we take our health for granted and don't even realize it. He said that his mindset around health has completely changed. For example, when his alarm goes off in the morning at 5 a.m., he does not want to get out of bed. But he, of course, thinks of how much his sick wife would give to go out to the gym and work out. That gets his butt out of bed to go and exercise. He says, listen to this one. What is a burden to some others is a blessing to another. Again, he said that he once asked his wife that if she woke up and she was completely healed, I'll tell you that this amazing couple had their faith and hope in Jesus Christ as their healer. So he goes on to ask her that if you woke up and you were completely healed, what is the first thing that you would change in your life? Brace yourself for her answer. Without even thinking about it, her first answer was this: I would become the biggest workout fitness mate that you have ever seen. So in conclusion, he mentioned, a healthy person will want 1,000 things and a sick person will only want one. Wow. So here is my lesson to why I share with you this story of victory. Life will give us many chances to take care of it. sometimes there will be none of those chances left at all. At those times, what will be that constant that will matter the most? That is where your self-care practice should come from. And this is it, right there. The podcast could as well end there, right? Well, I have to share with you my thoughts and put science to it. What I found in attempting to find a definition for self-care for the purposes of this podcast is that self-care is a proactive action to improve and maintain personal health. That is, regarding your own well-being, which is physical, mental, and emotionally, especially when under times of stress. As an ideal self-care routine should actually be holistic. Oh my goodness, that is it. This takes me back to the reason I am here on a daily. It is for holistic health. Therein lies my own answer. I hope it's the same for you. The role of self-care in holistic health is that finding your self-care routine is finding your own holistic health lifestyle. I want you to find what self-care means to you after listening to this. Is it promoting your health? What does it entail? And if you find those answers, that is you finding your holistic health lifestyle, that is you redefining your identity like I once did. I'll tell you that this is mine. Self-care is defining my health, that is holistic health for me. And if you will let me, allow me to take you through the simple steps that this entails in my world. And by the way, I formulated this podcast. The download came while I was on one of my self-care practices that I hadn't done in a while, thanks to this crazy full plate that entails school and life generally. But anyhow, I was sitting by the lake, smelling the fresh air, listening to the whispers and howls from the waves, feeling the chills on my skin that comes from the wind, watching the beautiful nature and birds flying in the air. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. I hope I have taken you there just for a moment. Anyhow, back to the self-care routine. One, for my mind and emotional well-being, I on a daily have compassion on Lily every day. I find something to show compassion to my soul. I mostly do the deep breathing and meditation that I have shared here, and for me that is connecting to the deepest core spiritual being with my Father in heaven. I include nature like I described. What is the beautiful sun out to tell me today? Even if it's the rain, what is in the rain? What is in nature? What is there to be grateful for on a daily? Daily brain dumping and journaling practices enable me to decongest this often overloaded brain. I have shared a number of times on this podcast. Go back and see what brain dumping is in holistic health. And for journaling, it is me connecting and listening to Lily at the deepest level. Listening, this one you will like, I hope. Listening to soul and jazz music just defines the brand of Dr. Lillian when I'm in my inner space. Having for you any choice of music or anything that will calm you down is you nurturing your mind and emotional well-being on a daily. And then, two, my physical well-being. This goes without say, exercise is me setting my emotions into motion. Remember, I'm a lady, emotions can be all over the place, but with exercise, I nurture them to motion, to the right way that I need them to go. I add food and diet. This nourishes this tempo and also feeds my mental well-being. I have shared on this podcast about gut-brain connection through the effect and the discipline of fasting. You will find that podcast. I'm sure you'll love it because now you will know why I set it out for you. Another is knowing your body and building that deep relationship with your doctor to enable you know your inner body. Why on earth would you walk around with a body that you do not know what it looks like on the inside? Only your doctor will tell you how that works. and then I will ask what works for you. Is it a spa? Is it a massage? Is it a warm bath in the evening? Is it reading a book? Is it exercise? What is it? You have to answer that question. And for 3, social well-being. That is relational, my spaces, professional, healthcare, self-care, to mention but a few. This includes, like I mentioned, spiritual well-being. This enables me to build that deep relationship with myself and with the Holy Spirit, most importantly. And that is why I have even a download for this year. So spiritual well-being, I'll tell you, is deeper than religious and faith practices. It's having a sense of life, a meaning to life, and a purpose which you nurture on a daily. So religion and faith are just a chip of the whole package of spiritual well-being. I promise to make a podcast on what spiritual well-being has to do with holistic health as we clean out all the mess that we have known for a while. Next is your closest relationships, your closest loves. That is my husband, my children, my family, my friends, my patients, my workmates, you, my community. That is important on a daily to be nurtured. That is self-care for me, by the way. They will benefit, but I nurture my social well-being. And then I go professional, intellectual, and financial care. What am I doing to improve my skill, my knowledge on a daily? That is self-care. I want you to take care of you. No one else should do that. Others should do as you teach them. Now, listen to this again. I am giving the world the best of me instead of what is left of me. Does that now make sense? Here is the reality. Do not feed others from an empty cup, but from your overflow. That way, you will feed them best. And that is how I live life on a daily. Someone once mentioned, and this has become true to me, this is how I manage my stress and promote my well-being. That is through self-care. And you have to take care of yourself every day, because guess what? You are taking care of everybody else. Now, as we come to the close of this podcast, I have a gift for you for this month. I have a download that has worked for me for the last 2 years since I started on this journey. That is a download from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. I have summarized it. It was a paper that was published about the healing power of hope and optimism. I found this paper when I made the decision to start on this journey. So I want to share it with you. Therein you'll see the importance of mindfulness and self-awareness, how that links to your self-care practices. I've mentioned spiritual nurturing and soul-searching, meditation and breathing, and whatever it is for you, taking care of your body, that is what you'll eat, your exercise, and then your surroundings, your professional care, your self-care, your personal and intellectual development. All that is wrapped in this small image that is speaking loads of thousands of messages for me. And then you will add professional care, which is what I'm offering, because look, I'm a professional in health, I have the skill, and I have the knowledge and experience. So me, myself, and others that have been equipped with this add to your self-care routine. And then you add communities like the ones in this podcast. Whole package entails whole health. And that is what I speak on a daily. Holistic health is meant for everyone, including you. Now for this week, your affirmation will come from your mindful practice that you will do today. Affirm yourself and say, this is my self-care practice. I am able to do it, and I will start today. And guess what? I'm here to cheer you on. I want you to take care of yourself. Come on next week and let's delve deeper to make this holistic health practice worthwhile for self-care. Your host, Dr. Lillian Kalisa, here to add the glow to medicine. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.